Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know much of like what's going on here.
The things that have come out, the drama, the scandals, the new information is insane. It's probably the most drama-filled month in the history of Twitch. It's imploding in front of our eyes. And welcome back to Mogul Mail. We got to cover everything today.
I agree.
But let's go back to the start. All right. If you missed anything, I will cover it all. It all started about 22 days ago when Cutie announced Shit Camp. That is her big event.
I don't even know why you want them on YouTube. Like, YouTubes are so bad. I'm gonna put them on for you, but like, they're so bad. They're so off of like what they're actually saying most of the time. That guy was saying sans and it was saying science.
It involves a bunch of creators all coming together to foster friendships and then also create content that is bigger than the sum of its parts. However, there was some initial feedback that was kind of negative about the event, especially on the live stream.
Super was super,
that said,
exactly.
This event is an easy skip because Soda Poppin' is not going to be there. And that wouldn't really matter normally. However, one of the big people that were meant to go, XQC, biggest streamer on the platform, decided to not go the day of. How did he let the people know who were running the event that he was not going? He typed it in his offline chat, which he now admits was wrong to do, but here it is. This is it. He said, I'm not going. Soda's not going. I don't feel like it. I need Soda to run good stuff for me to feel comfortable, all that, yada, 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 which kind of left the event with somewhat of a bad taste in the people who were there and also maybe some of the viewers it helped perpetuate.
So basically there was a Twitch event and XQC decided to not show up and like hang it out in Discord. That's what this is all starting from here. Starting right here. Yeah, so he's saying that he's not going because this other guy's not going. Well, not other guy. I've heard Soda. That's like a pretty big name. Right, no, exactly. Like, he's not going because his boy's not going. Understandable. I don't see anything wrong with that. The issue is that he said the day of. That's kind of where you're in a dicey sitch.
The narrative that they were already sharing. Now, X has apologized for this. Whatever. Doesn't matter. We're just talking about what happened. All right? At the event goes great. E-Rob gets banned. Feels bad, man. After the event, Soda Poppin' does a podcast with his brother D-Kane, and in it says this. Let's listen in.
And also, Wrath is coming out. So I told him way before, hey, I'm not going. I'm sorry. I want to say like months before.
Okay. All right. So let's just repeat what he said there. Wrath is coming out, World of War thing. Great. World of Warcraft. Sorry, I'm a little bit boomery here. And he's not going. And he says, I told them I'm not going to go. Well, here's the thing. That clip of Soda Poppin' was shown to XQC, and then XQC watched it, felt like his back was against the wall, and gave his real reason for not going right here.
Like, I had to make a choice. I was cornered into choosing between family and Sammy. And unfortunately, what happened is that I kind of just chose family.
This is heavy stuff, all right? If you don't understand, XQC is talking about the real reason for him not going, being he had some personal issues with his relationship and his family. Sammy was his ex-girlfriend, and he had to choose in some situation that they were in between his family and between his girlfriend. That was a situation that he was in, and that was the reason he did not go. Not the Soda Poppin' is not there. But because that clip that said, I told them I was not going.
We call fact or cap out of XQC right there. We saying that's a fact or we saying that's cap? Or fact in that one? Like that. Okay. So we're gonna give X that one. We're gonna say that that's fine. This is okay.
Was shown to XQC and he interpreted it as I told him I'm not going. He shared this information. which led to a crazy saga where they had a very, very, very public breakup because Sammy saw that, aka Adept, then talked about what she felt about the situation. Then XQC reacted to what she was talking about in her reaction to him. And then they ended up talking together online, which led to this moment, which is crazy that this was broadcast.
You know how I am. Okay? I don't cut it halfway. I have to go all the way. I don't have any things above my head all fucking day.
I can't do this with you anymore. You are not a victim here. You have never been a victim here. I'm done speaking with you. You are not a victim. Stop victimizing yourself.
This is the Kendrick Lamar "We Cry Together" moment of Twitch. It's the biggest streamer in the world. It had 120,000 viewers.
Oh my god, dude, what
And
the
this is
fuck?
where the story would normally end. However, in the midst of all of this is when Slicker came out as a scammer. That's when this whole thing, he was sending the videos to people. I made a mogul mail about this a couple days ago that goes a little more in depth about it. But basically, this streamer Slicker was revealed to be scamming almost like 100 people out of over $300,000. Crazy, crazy stuff there. Here's the total tally.
There are over 55 people on this
More
list
accurate.
owed money right now, and the total scammed is over $384,000.
Way more than I thought.
And what did I learn from these 55 people? Well,
CoffeeZilla goes more in depth about that. And quick little bow tie on that one, by the way. Me and XQC are teaming up to pay people back. Why XQC? I think in part he feels guilty because he's earned a lot of money gambling. Maybe it's a good PR thing. Maybe he's just rich and doesn't care. Why am I doing it?
That's a lot of
Because you will
fucking
probably
money.
see a stupid mobile game sponsor on Mogul Mail in the next month or so. And that's all I have to do is do one little sellout that hopefully you guys are okay with, and I can make dozens of people's lives a lot better, which to me feels like a worthwhile.
Yeah, it's nothing to them, but like 55 people. So what did we say it was? What was that number? Like we'll say it was 350, even though I'm pretty sure it was higher than that. That's fucking $6,300 to the like average on it. So it was 384. And they scam about 55 people. If they scam 55 people, that's almost each person getting scammed out $7 grand. Oh, so he was scamming other streamers. These weren't just like viewers. So he was getting everybody. Yeah, I've heard that train name tossed around a lot, but I mean, either way, you get rocked for 100,000. That's a good amount. Sheesh. So this isn't the same. Is this the same scam thing as like the cryptocurrency? Is that what that scam is? Because I've heard there was some like streamer who was scamming people with crypto. Okay, so this guy was basically just collecting some money and calling it a day. Okay.
Wild trade-off. All right, I don't mind doing that. I don't mind shilling out for some terrible mobile game, unless they're listening to this, in which case your mobile game's great, in exchange for doing a positive good. And so that's that there. Very good, very awesome. Slicker, by the way, has got his sub badge removed. He is no longer a partner on Twitch. He's not even an affiliate anymore. He's not banned yet. I think he should definitely be banned.
Why is he allowed to
but
stream?
At the moment, not banned, but cannot make money on the website. And
So here's what I would like. So this guy who scammed, regardless of how like rich or whatnot those people are, still scam people out of $384,000, and he's like, you know, yes, he can't make any more money, but yet the chick that was having sex on Twitch gets banned for 7 days. That's fucking wild. I hope he does end up banned. You should be permed? Exactly. Like, she should be permed, he should be permed. Like, I just don't understand Twitch's, like, what they do and don't dictate as, like, bannable. Because us as the public still have no idea how Dr. Disrespect gets perma-banned on Twitch versus a chick fucking and this guy scamming people out of $384,000. What needs to be? How does it need to be investigated? We literally have it right here saying that this man has scammed $384,000. Like, why? What left is there to investigate to say that? Yeah, no, you just gotta go. But I'm saying, like, you should just be rocked. Like, there shouldn't be like they're like, yeah, you're not partnered, you can't make money, but like, you're still good to stream here. Like, that's some scumbag shit. I'm sure he's promoting something else somehow.
And that's where you would think the story would end. That's where you would think the story would end. And in like conjunction with the Slicker
other
story,
guy,
there was a big movement. People were using that as a big movement to remove gambling on Twitch, which I think is an okay thing to do, by the way. The first thing you should do in any situation is make sure the victims are okay, which is what I did. I offered to pay for the victims, and that's the step I'm doing to make sure the victims are okay. The second thing is, and I think it is okay to use momentum talking about how gambling is bad to make a positive change for the future, aka remove gambling on Twitch. Now, the gambling Slicker was doing wasn't even slots, right? To be clear, he was gambling on like tennis matches and golf matches. However, gambling is still the topic, and if you can use something to make positive change, I think that's fine. And that's what someone like Mizkif did. Like, if Twitch should ban gambling. Even Pokimane did the same thing. Got a bunch of likes for it. I would say a little maybe less genuine when it came from Mizkif, because I don't think he was as concerned with the victims as maybe riding the momentum to say screw gambling. Because, you know, he's done gambling sponsorships in the past. And from that came a really weird thread, because Mizkif was really riding this "we gotta ban gambling" thing. Even Asmongold said, how is Slicker not banned?
Oh, there he is.
We should definitely ban him for scamming people. And then Train said, you know, this whole thing about how it was actually horse racing and tennis bets, and it wasn't actually slots gambling. You shouldn't try to target people like me. Mizkif replied to that saying, if you're going to deplatform people for scamming others, shouldn't we have banned you for Jolt Coin a few years back? I don't really know the reference. I guess Train at some point took a crypto called Jolt Coin to make money. And then Train replied with an absolute bomb. All right? They were trading jabs, and he went for the Hail Mary uppercut, said, are you going to send Maya and Mitch to railroad and blackmail me like you did those girls to cover up all those sexual assaults, you fucking scumbag piece of shit? You want to come at me and make shit up, then you better be sure you don't live in a glass house, you insecure pussy.
Oh. Holy shit, dude. I felt that one. Holy God. Twitch dude, high school? Yeah, but like this is like that's like serious type shit. Like high school is just like stupid ass drama. Like, oh my God, did you guys do this at the party? Like this is like, that's something right there. Like those are accusations that are prison time. Like that is, we're talking sexual assault. Like, I mean, bro, that is like, holy Jesus Christ. Train wasn't having it, and clearly he, oh my God, that's fucking crazy.
Wow. All right, what are they referring to here? Let me break it down for you. There's a good friend of Mizkif, a guy that Mizkif lives with, called Crazy Slick. He's a streamer in his own right, and Crazy Slick had was accused of sexual assault by a streamer named Adriana Lee about a year ago, and it kind of died out very quickly. The general story went that they were at a party together. She was feeling very sick, very drunk, went to a bed to be by herself. Crazy Slick went in, and then when she was like passed out, not really fully there with, you know, full consciousness, touched her inappropriately, right? That's what Adriana said. And then Slick was like, no, I was just checking her pulse, which is weird to do. You don't, what are you? Like Dr. House? That you don't have to do that. That's a weird thing to do. Shouldn't touch someone who doesn't want to be touched, and especially who can't consent to being touched, right? Straightforward. But the original Twit Longer about that, which came out, I guess, over a year ago now from Adriana, got shoved down, and kind of got stopped talking about very quickly. Why? Well, I guess we found out from this train tweet, and this was uncovered by Adriana herself on her stream and many other people's streams. Well, Ms. Kiff sent Maya and Mitch Jones to cover it up. AKA, I guess they went to Adriana and asked her to speak more nicely about Crazy Slick than she might have wanted to. Speak less honestly about the incident so that it wouldn't hurt Crazy Slick as much. And that was a way of kind of shoving it down. Which is a terrible thing to do, because after that, Crazy Slick did not stop doing bad things. I mean, look at these DMs that he shared with another streamer, Fan. I'm showing you my dick. I don't care. I'm horny. Are you going to consent before I get canceled? Nope, no consent. Dicks are ugly. Suck my dick, pussy. If we ever meet, you're done. On sight, you're getting bent over immediately. Your hair's getting pulled so hard, you're chokeslammed while I thrust you from behind. Thrust is a funny word. I'm sorry. That's what I'm laughing at. GG. Look at you. You should write a fan.
Bro, what? Oh my god, dude. He said, well, I thrust you from behind. GG. Bro, this guy's gotta be canceled, right? Like, his shit is... He's donezo. Like, this guy's gotta be chalk.
Fic with this literotica shit. Why the fuck would that mean I'd send you nudes?
I'm not saying he was anything, but if his goals were to plan to be anything, he's gotta be like, it's all over.
Most girls do actually. Yeah. Sorry, I misread. I thought you were kind of a slut. Terrible messages, right? Like totally inappropriate messages. I think there's been even more messages that have come out that he's sent like dick pics without consent, just unasked for, unwanted. And clearly is somebody who is not a great person in the space. It does not make a lot of the women who are around, at least the Austin area, feel safe. He did the exact opposite. And the focus of this normally would be on Crazy Slick, who clearly is someone who should not be in this sphere, right? And quick little side thing over here. Crazy Slick, also irrelevant to this, someone who deals with depression, was suicidal, was missing all yesterday, which was another concern, was found. If anybody heard about that, that's all clear. He is found. I think he is going to be safe now. I sent him this message as well because I don't want people to die, but I don't think he should be in this space. I think it's so simple. The same problem happens in the Smash community. You make people feel unsafe in a community, you just leave the community. The world is very, very big. Twitch live streaming sphere, very, very small. All right, very irrelevant to the whole world order. And you, all right, are lucky enough that you're not going to jail. What you should do now is apologize to those you hurt. That's exactly what I sent him. Leave the small part of the internet where the hurt was caused so that they can feel safe here. You don't have to feel safe here because you shouldn't feel safe here because you make people feel unsafe here. And then take this as an opportunity to be a new person, a better person, all right? Not the person that you were. A second lease on life in a way. All right, and be a positive member to society. That's what I sent to him, and he should no longer be in the streaming sphere, plain and simple. The attention of this was barely on Crazy Slick, barely on Adriana's story. All right, why? Because it was really on Ms. Kiff. There was a huge Reddit thread about this and a bunch of tweets about this clip that surfaced from Miz.
I don't think there's a single person that we used to hang out with that doesn't hang out with Slick anymore because of what happened. I actually think there's literally none. Because the reality is, worst comes to worst of it, it's fucking, like, sexual harassment, right? I mean, like, no one, of what you can deem of it, it's sexual harassment, whatever. At a low scale, it's not really a big deal. I don't think people really gave a shit.
This is Miz speaking way too candidly and way too stupidly about sexual assault, saying it's low scale, like there's a tier list that we have to drop every year on what sexual assault we need to rank S tier, what is we need to rank F tier. And really, I mean, showed that, he was not only protecting someone who sexually assaulted someone, but
I heard a
also
shovel
very
going there.
callous
Me
about the entire
too.
situation. And then a little insult to injury, a little dirt in the wound. Right around the same time this is all unfolding, Ice Poseidon, who, by the way, renowned piece of shit and should not be revered in any way for exposing someone because he has never been a great member of any community, released a bunch of DMs between him and Mizkiv where he's just saying every slur under the sun. I mean, he goes through them all, and this is all ranging in 2019 and 2018, so past 3 or 4 years after he was already a sizable streamer. Like, terrible stuff. And to be clear, Mizkiff has talked about on stream before that he used to say slurs. He admitted to it. He said, I used to say slurs. I was very edgy, and I've changed. Whether he changed because he had to, because it's the times, and that's the only way to become a successful creator, or because he wanted to morally. Either way, good to change. But it is much different to say you used to say slurs and then look at the way that you said slurs, right? That's a lot. It's a lot realer. It's a lot harder to stare at, and it's a lot harder to accept. And especially because the people that he told were his viewers, this is much different. The people who are seeing all these DMs now are no longer his viewers. I don't even really think I can show these, but it is N-word, it is F-slur, and it is derogatory term for other minority groups. It's everything. It's the whole Mary Poppins bag, and he reached in deep for it. Which look, hey, it is funny because 2 days ago he dropped this. Which,
bro, are those tweets still up? Obviously, I'm not gonna show them. There's no shot. These are still up, right? They're still up. They're definitely still up. Oh my goodness. Bro, like, listen, man. There's a difference between, like, I used to say slurs and like that. Like, that's too... Holy shit.
which is a quick says you. And that's kind of where it was ending, right? And there was different spats that were going on between streamers during all of this, relating to all of this, until today, where Twitch dropped an absolute bomb. All right, maybe the greatest PR move they have made in the past 2 years, maybe the greatest policy move they've made in the past 5 years. Twitch has now banned gambling, all right? In response to the Slicker drama,
kind of, not really, but kind of,
that happened on Twitter and Reddit and everywhere else, Twitch let out this statement which said gambling content on Twitch has been a big topic of discussion in the community. We've reviewed our policy. Today we want to update you on our plans. We're going to be making a policy update on October 18th to prohibit streaming of gambling sites that include slots, roulette, or dice games that aren't licensed either in the U.S. or other jurisdictions that provide sufficient consumer protection. The sites like Stake, Rollbit, Duelbits, Roobet are all going to be banned. And these are the main sites that we're using. These are the sites that Trainwrecks uses, Trainwrecks TV uses, the site that XQC uses, the site that Drake used when he streamed on Twitch for a couple of hours. And it's a big change. It's a huge change. And I gotta admit it, a huge win for Twitch at the tail end of a crazy tumultuous 2 weeks. And what was the CEO tweeting while Twitch was going for their slam dunk? So weird that Twitter doesn't save your drafts and there's no drafts at all on the website that I can find. Does anyone know why? Why don't you talk about things that matter, Emmett? I don't understand. Anyway, that's it. That is about everything that happened. What should come from this? Well, people should stop gambling, which means we should have that become a much smaller category on Twitch. In the past, it's been a top 5 category, top 10 category occasionally. It should quickly drop. That's a great thing. We should have Crazy Slick leave the streaming community. He 100%. Should do that. You can do anything. It's all right. If you move to Wyoming and work at a Best Buy, you can be a totally new person. All right, go join the JET program and become a better person. But don't be in the streaming sphere because it made people feel unsafe, and the people who felt unsafe should feel safe. Like Adriana should feel safe now. Right? That's what should happen. And Mizkif has a lot to own up for. Now, here's the thing. Miz is Miz in the sense that he will never be canceled unless he's deplatformed, because you are never truly canceled as long as you keep creating content. And why would he ever stop creating content? Because Miz truly lives for streaming. So I don't expect for him to disappear. I assume he will just let it die down a bit, come back in 2 weeks, and there will still be a group of people who follow him. And he has to deal with this, which will last for the rest of his life. A lot of people, maybe even more people that follow him and more people that watch him, will always think of him as someone who either protected a sexual assaulter or is someone who was racist or homophobic. Or maybe, they'll think of him as is. And that's the reality that he'll have to live with, which I think is deserved for what he did. He even dropped a statement himself, which I'll take a look at here. It said, "We found Crazy Slick. He's not harmed," which is what I talked about earlier. In terms of living situation, Crazy Slick has to leave, which is good. A little after Slick's misconduct came to light, I made some inexcusable statements, which is the one we showed today. To Adriana, I'm sorry for those statements, which is a due apology, but it should go to Adriana directly. Additionally, a series of private messages, the ones from Ice Poseidon, have been shown. I was dumb, edgy guy who said a lot of stupid things to my friends to come off as cool, funny. I can't change what I've said, but I can change who I am now. I'm sorry to everyone how it's affected. I want to apologize to OTK, and he apologized. So I think we'll see him lay low, come back in 2 weeks, and then try to stream as if nothing happened, because that's usually how it goes. Canceling doesn't exist unless you get deplatformed, and the only person who should be getting deplatformed 100% is Slicker for scamming people out of $384,000. Twitch, that's the last thing you got to do, and then you're all set. Anyway, that's all. Probably the longest mogul mail yet. Did it in one take. Feeling great about it. By the way, in good news, what happened on YouTube's side while Twitch was imploding, they have now monetized.
Yeah. You get money for YouTube Shorts now. Fuck you. Biz ain't going nowhere. Yeah, I don't really think he's gonna go anywhere. The Slicks guy definitely probably should never stream on Twitch again. If I were him, you gotta just chalk it, bro. You gotta bounce. I'm sure OTK will drop Miz, like for sure. Nah, dude, really? No. They put him on leave. Last I heard that OTK put him on leave until further notice. I hope they don't. Like, I definitely hope they don't bring him back. Because that's some scumbag shit right there. That is some major scumbag shit. The one thing I want to kind of get your guys' opinion, because I'm curious. I think I have a take on it. I'm curious what your guys think is about gambling being banned. Still gonna average 60K on Twitch. Yeah, I mean, of course, but I just hope OTK doesn't like stay with him for sure. What do you think about gambling being banned on Twitch? I'm curious how everybody feels about that. Think gambling should be anywhere involved here? Fair. My take on it is kind of like my thing, so I was more on the whole like don't really care if it is or isn't, but here's where I start to get a little like irritated with these things. Is because like there's videos out there of XQC like losing hundreds of thousands of dollars. And it's like, people look at that and think like, oh my God, he lost hundreds of thousands of dollars. He literally, like, they don't lose a dollar. Like, they don't lose anything because they take, like, deals from these huge, you know, online casino type deals. And they're just like, here basically, here's $100,000 and whatever happens, happens. So it's like, well, if I lose it, it's not really yours, or it's not really mine. So, like, who really cares? And it's just like, bro. Like, because there's such a difference where if like someone who has a full-time job decides to do a gambling stream versus someone who's getting a huge check from this group to do it. Like it is two totally different things. That's fine. Let me see. I saw something about kids in here. I watch gambling streams, but I do think they probably cause more issues than not. I agree. I think they definitely cause more harm than good. I think parents should marry their kids better. Want to be being cool. Don't live for children. I agree. 100%. Watch races. She goes be a parent, bro. It'd be blowing my mind that kids just have like access to their parents' credit cards. I think that shit is nuts. My parents never would have let me. If my parents like ever lended me money when I was younger, it was straight like cash, and that was it. Especially about that. That's the thing though. It's with fake money, but like it's just not their money. Like it's money, but like it's the own company's money. So you know how be dead for those old Xbox ones. But like that's the thing though, like if you're talking about the fucking like what people used to say back in like early 2000s and like late 2000s with like what they said on Xbox chat, like that's a lot different than what those DMs were saying. Like it's just it's so fucking different. Exactly. Not saying it was right or wrong, but like those were different times. Where he fucked up was the shit with those DMs being from fucking like 2018, 2019. Like it's just like that's just not okay. I ain't scared of my leaks. I'll be honest, bro. All my shit was voice chat. All the shit that we used to say was voice chat. We never really like messaged somebody directly. And like said those kinds of things. We'd message them directly and say things, but nothing like that nuts. Yeah, I'm glad gambling for the most part's been taken down. They did say you can still do like live stream comments would make it worse. I believe it. I do think it's still like cool to have like poker and shit like that be on there. Sports betting, like yeah, stuff like that. I also feel like though like that's a little different because that's usually more of like a mature audience. You know what I'm saying? Like no 10-year-old is sitting there being like, "Oh, let me go watch his podcast about like sports bets to place on this weekend and things like that." Yeah, exactly. And like even like the poker streamers, like most of them are like very well like educated poker players. So like I'm glad at least that like that stuff stayed. Yeah, I'm glad like the fucking like slots and that bullshit's gone because that was just like that shit was just so whack, dude. He was unhinged, was following as a cult. Yeah. I'll be honest though, bro, that's how a lot of these big streamers are. Like pretty much all these big streamers, I would love to, me and Evan were talking about this, like I would love to know what kind of skeletons a lot of these big streamers are hiding in their closet. Because I guarantee you almost all of them got some like wild shit. Like I No, like yeah, there's a few exceptions. Like I genuinely feel like Asmon, like I feel like Asmon probably doesn't really have a lot to hide because he simply just doesn't give a fuck and like he'll say whatever he wants. That doesn't really matter. And Summit's also like Summit's a whole like Summit is his own type of fucking streamer, bro. Like he literally just likes to get fried, play games, and like call it a day. Like I don't know, man. I definitely think that like all these like these top 0.01% of streamers are like there's definitely some wild skeleton, whether it's like on stream or not. Definitely think it's sus. I definitely think it's sus. Especially because the way the Twitch community works with like the top dogs having like they're all in like somewhat cahoots with each other. Like it's crazy. Allow them to just lead normal lives? I don't think so. That's that beat millionaires. It depends on what your demographic is. Yeah, I could agree with that. But to me, like, it's the same as all these like millionaires in like outside of like the streaming world. Like you know, most of these fucking like millionaires have wild shit like that. That they like they've got skeletons in their closet. Yeah, no, Lyric was another one I wouldn't really think. I'm not saying like all of them, but I would definitely say like there's probably some like a good chunk out there that are sus. Yeah, like I really would never think like Lyric is doing anything. Admin Summit. I don't really know who Moon Moon is. Yeah, it's probably something I should watch. And at this point with social media, even if you don't have any, some type bring it up. Yeah. Moon is playing Skate 3 right now. That's legit. Dude, Moon it sounds like is getting ready for the new Skate game. I might be playing that on stream when that comes out. 2023, baby. And it's free to play. And the new Skate's free to play. But yeah. That's some crazy fucking shit. That's absolutely some crazy shit right there. What the fuck? Oh, it's a main name, bitch. I don't think I could ever have those kinds of problems. I want to